Welcome to another Spreadsheeters video guide. You can find written instructions for these steps on the Spreadsheeters website. In this video, we'll see how to put a dropdown in Google Sheets. To validate the data that is entered in a Google Sheet, it is possible to restrict the values by creating a dropdown list. This forces the user to select a list from the value instead of just entering any value that they want. This is very useful when you're creating a user entry form and you want to ensure that the data you collect is uniform. By creating drop-down lists wherever the values are defined, it makes it much easier and saves you a lot more time when cleaning up the data later. There are two ways of doing this in Google Sheets. So the first way is to type the list of values. So here I will select, I'm going to put a drop-down in this field for area. So I select the cell, go to data and say choose data validation. Now this opens this data validation box, and under the criteria I want to give a list of items. So here I need to specify the items separated by a comma, and then I tick show drop down list in cell and say save. Now as you can see, one little arrow has appeared in the cell, and when I click that I have either only two options, either rural or urban. So this is one way where you can type the list of values. The second way is to use a range. So I'm going to use it for age. Here on the right, I have a list of allowed ages, and this is what I want to specify as the drop down. So I select the cell, go to data, say data validation, and here I want to give the list from a range. So here I select the range and then say OK. So now the list has been, that range has been specified. Again, show drop-down list in cell is selected and I say save. Now when I go here and select this, I have this drop-down which has the values from the range. So this option is useful if you plan to change the values, because anytime you change these values, and suppose I just say 51 over here, since the data validation is referring to that range, the value gets updated here. So this is two ways of putting a drop-down in Google Sheets. Please read the appended article for further guidance.